All right, so we're going to do a new thing that we haven't done yet. I mean, this is going to be strictly based on just
Season long.
Yeah, season long, not keeper, not anything like that. But we're going to do a little keep, trade, cut.
Yeah, let me throw some names out there to you, my man. You tell me if you want to trade, you want to keep them, or you want to cut them.
Let's do it.
Cam Newton.
If you can get, if you can get a believer in Cam, like say that you can go out. I mean, you probably still can't get a Brady in a season long. Probably still can't get a Breeze. But I mean, say that you can sneak. I don't know. Matt Ryan hasn't played too well.
Say like a young quarterback like a Jameis, a Mariota.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say Carr, but
it's tough in a year long. But I think if you can trade him and you can get good value, or even a quarterback like middle tier and get something else your team needs, I say trade him after his week that he just had.
I think you.
I could have a total different tune next week if he backs up what he did against the Patriots, against the Lions, who apparently are like a top 5 defense. Apparently, if he does that at Detroit, then I might think a little differently. But I got to see more out of him. But I would trade him after his big game.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. I would trade him if I could. Obviously, a lot of people hear the name, think back to 2 years ago, and honestly...
Yeah, so you could get a lot out of him, especially after this last week. That's why I would say trade him.
And that's another reason why I say trade him now, because...
Yeah, I'm talking this week.
Yeah. Don't wait. I probably wouldn't wait.
Right now, today.
And it might end up backfiring on you, but you just kind of got to go with how it's looked.
It would all depend on what you get.
Lamar Miller.
Trade.
You know what I'm going to say.
Trade.
Trade Devon.
Trade, especially after his last week. Trade.
Yeah, get as much as possible.
Yeah.
Foreman's coming. If you want to back up and get Foreman as a handcuff, I think that's even smarter. Wait till it plays out. LaShawn McCoy.
Trade. We both were kind of low on him. He can receive the ball, and they've been actually running well. So, I get it if you want to keep him because I don't know what you could get for him, but I would trade.
Yeah, I would trade mainly because he hasn't been there and they're winning. He hasn't been his normal self or his last year's self, and Tobert's still in some touches, too.
Getting quite cocky in the locker room as well.
You got the Bengals this week, so you might win again. But
you might want to trade him after this next week. Our run deep. The Bengals defense actually done really good.
Todd
great teams.
Gurley.
I would have to say, for me personally, his schedule ends up getting a lot harder.
It does.
He's in that division. He faced Seattle twice, and I know Seattle's actually allowed a lot of rushing yards, back-to-back weeks of over 100. But I just don't see that lasting with that defensive line. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So, I want to say trade, but me trading would mean I'm getting Le'Veon Bell and somebody back.
Probably what would you say?
Or I'm getting Kareem Hunt and somebody.
But
it might be even because they're both 1-2 in fantasy rankings. But the reason why, that you could also keep him, obviously he's doing amazing this year. But two, he's really, really involved in the passing game right now. They found a way to actually use his hands, which Jeff Fisher, non-offensive coach at all, didn't. So, I could argue keeping him, but depending on what you get, if you could get Le'Veon Bell and somebody, give me that.
Yeah, I personally think keep. Elite running backs are tough to come by, and it looks like Sean McVay. I think I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, I love him.
He really wants to give him the ball and run the offense through him, which I love. I would just temper my expectations for the next few weeks because the schedule is hard.
PPR averaging 26 points a week right now.
I think eventually. I think this week against Seattle, he can get about 60 rushing yards, 40 receiving yards, and hopefully a touchdown, and that would completely do you good. AJ Green.
I think keep him. I don't.
Balling since the OC got in here.
Yeah, I think keep him. When the Bengals score, he's getting in that end zone.
Yep.
And he made it known when he's not getting the ball, so I fully expect him to get at least close to 10 targets a game from now on.
Kind of exactly what I said about Gurley. I would keep mainly because it looks like the offensive coordinator wants to give him the ball, which don't blame him for that one. My boy Ajayi.
I think you took him in the second round. He's not done anything. You got to keep him.
Yeah.
Can't trade him for nothing, and you definitely can't cut him.
Yeah, that's the reason why I would keep him.
You got to hope he's still getting 20-plus touches a game, so you just got to think that breakout's coming.
I really honestly don't think it's his fault. I think it's literally you had a bunch of stack boxes.
Being the quarterback.
Your defense is giving up some points, so you're down. You can't control the clock as much.
They got to figure some stuff out on that offense. I think eventually they got a lot of talent on that offense. I think eventually they will.
They've got to find a way to move the ball.
And if it's like last year they started out real slow.
If you just watch him, you just watch him as an eye test, just watch a game, you absolutely see nothing wrong. He just runs with physical force.
Yeah, I think he'll. I mean, either way, you got to keep him. You drafted him second round, maybe into the first. You got to keep him.
I mean, yeah, if he ends up going Hamilton this week, then if
that could change things.
If you want to trade him, I completely don't blame
but as of right now, got to keep him.
Yeah, and also another thing is, remember he's only played 3 games too, where a lot of people played 4. So give him another extra week just to see. My boy, and I'm going to go ahead and say keep for me, Marshawn Lynch.
So, I mean, he would keep him. I can see why you could keep him because there's maybe not much trade value, but the reason I would say trade is he's still a big name. I mean, personally, I love the guy. And honestly, he's just not getting a ton of touches. Yeah. He's really not. And, I mean, Carr being out, I think they would try to plan to run the ball more, and they're probably going to see more boxes stacked.
Yeah.
So that's why I would personally say trade, because if you can get somebody just based off his name, kind of like what we talked about with Cam, I would do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all if you want to trade him. I personally wouldn't, because I would feel like the next, I would say 2 to 4 to 5, 6 weeks, we're going to try to run the ball. We're going to have to run the ball, actually. Mm-hmm. Maybe this week the Ravens, tough, solid defense, that might end up being a bad matchup for him, but... I mean, at the same, you might end up just having it like Gurley.
Still get Denver another time, Chiefs twice.
Yeah, you kind of just gotta lower your expectations a little bit. Just kind of hope for the touchdown. I think he's more of a RB2 flex-ish type play right now until you see it. And I don't blame you if you want to trade him based off the name, because you can probably get a solid, probably way better than what he's playing at right now. But I would say keep mainly because kind of what we said about Jai. You drafted him decently high. Yeah. You're probably, if someone in your league is not dumb enough to see the name and just, they know.
Yeah, I would send some feelers out there at least. See what people think.
Martavis Bryant.
I mean, they've played 3 out of the 4 games been on the road. It's a known fact over the last few years. Big Ben does worse on the road. I'm keeping for now. See what he does. He's always been throughout his career a boom or bust player. I mean, this guy was real high on him.
I am real high on him. Wait till this stretch of home games. He's about to ball out.
I can see it.
And the other reason why I was high on him is because one game for him is gonna equal about 2 weeks for some players.
He's a boom or bust player. A lot like Deshaun Jackson and a lot of players like that.
I think if I go back, I think it was my bold prediction. I had him top 10 or top 15.
You might have even said that he was gonna be higher than Antonio Brown. I think you said like top 5, and I was like, well, that would hurt Antonio Brown a little bit.
I hope to God it didn't say top 5.
I don't know. I think you might. I don't know. Definitely top 10, I think.
Yeah, I definitely either said top 10 or top 15.
Probably top 10.
Yeah. Dolphins wide receivers. That would include Devontae Parker and Jarvis Landry.
For me, I got him on the keep. I mean, I'm with that Dolphins offense. I mean, there's not much to say about them. They're averaging 2 points per quarter right now. So, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, I think you got to stick with them and see what happens. Like, luckily, Parker and Landry both been getting catches, so if you're in PPR, they're not fully killing you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing with Landry, he just doesn't get in the end zone. I just don't know what trade value could get. I think you wait for one of them to go off, and then you consider trading.
Yeah, I would. The reason I would keep Devontae Parker is because his ceiling. And
he's going to get in the end zone.
Yeah, even as
bad
as much as they've played bad the last 2 weeks, he still find a way to get you some solid.
Yeah, they both have in PPR at least.
Yeah, and I would probably try to trade Jarvis Landry because he has a bigger name. You're probably going to get more for him, but I would, just like you said, I'd probably wait if you could and just wait for him to have a big week. Probably doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon though. Alex Smith, the number 1 or 2
I mean, you got to try to trade. If you can get somebody big, trade him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not lasting.
I mean, I think he can stay solid, but he'll be like solid as in 15.
Yeah, I would say QB2. Right now he's a QB1. He's not staying a QB1.
Yeah, I agree.
You could probably get a really good offer for him.
All right.
Deshaun Watson, the Flames right now.
I mean, for me, and the only reason, like, if you asked me this last year, I would definitely say trade. And I mean, depending on who you could get, because the name, he's a rookie, people love rookies. I mean, if you can trade him and get a solid quarterback that you know is going to stay consistent, do it. But for me, I'm keeping him because, I mean, Dak Prescott to me proved that you can keep it up.
Yeah, right now I would probably trade because I don't think he's gonna have. What do you have, like 45?
I mean, he's not going to keep doing that. But
Yeah, I don't think any right now. It's not going to
the
get
way
any
he can
higher.
run keeps his floor just
Yeah.
higher. I mean, it gives you more points. I mean, I don't know. It depends who you can get.
Honestly, I would just rather have someone that I know. I've seen it through the years.
Yeah, if
but
it's just season long, for sure, I can see. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, wouldn't blame you at all if you wanted to keep him.